My name is Nicole King. I'm the CTL for Design and Technology. What is Design and Technology? Design and Technology is a theory and practical course which prepares our students to live successfully in an increasingly technological world. Our GCSE allows students to study core technical designing and making principles, including a broad range of design processes, materials, techniques, and equipment. They will also have the opportunity to study one of these specialist technical principles in greater depth. The subject content in Design and Technology goes into great depth. You have your core technical principles, your specialist technical principles, and finally your designing and making principles. We encourage our students to look at a range of categories for the specialist technical principles, including paper and boards, timber-based materials, metal-based materials, polymers, textiles, and electronic and mechanical systems. It is in one of these categories that the students will then progress further and in more detail with their NEA. How was this course assessed? As I just mentioned, there is a piece of coursework, their NEA, which is worth 50%, and the other 50% is a written exam. Starting with the written exam, it does cover all those principles we just mentioned, so your core, your specialist, and designing and making. It should be noted though that 15% of the exam does assess their math skills, whilst 10% of the exam assesses their science skills, so it's really important to bring those skills all together. It's a 2-hour exam. It includes multiple choice, short answer, and extended responses. The NEA has an assessment criteria which encourages the students to identify and investigate design possibilities for a given brief. They will then need to produce their brief in more detail in a specification. They'll then go on to generating and developing ideas to then eventually realizing these designs, to analyzing and evaluating. With the NEA, it is absolutely crucial that their client is someone that they can communicate with regularly, as that is a huge component of this task. This task has already been released. It was released to the students on the 1st of June this year. All students were emailed, and those students that did attend the face-to-face sessions had an introduction to this as well. It requires the students to produce a prototype and a 20-page portfolio of evidence. This is aimed to be completed by Easter. It's all being saved through their OneDrive, and the students are familiar with this. If they are not, they need to speak to their teacher to ensure that they understand fully how they are being assessed on this task. It is suggested that this task takes anywhere up to 35 hours to complete, so it's absolutely important that the students are working on this task now. What are the general expectations in this course? As I've just mentioned, the NEA is a huge task that does require them to be working independently. They need to have that initiative to be speaking to their client on a regular basis to gain the feedback that they need to continue on with their development and realization of design ideas. It is important that they're meeting deadlines and they're using their OneDrive for their NEA e-portfolio. Again, with all exam boards, they must be following the AQA regulations concerning malpractice. Going back to the NEA, they need to complete that research beyond the classroom, so using their initiative to gain feedback from potential clients to further develop ideas. And the last point there is to complete homework and revision task as set. Because the NEA is such a big task, it is important that they are revising throughout in preparation for that exam in the summer term. Some of those revision resources that are really helpful are listed there. Again, all these are available through the school. We do have lots of the pocket-sized revision guides in stock. These can be ordered through WisePay, and they're £2.50. The Collins and the CGP resources, we will be taking a list of names of students who are interested in these, so we can buy them at the school price. They range between £2.80 and £4 depending on the resource. Other resources that are very valuable include Seneca. The students do have a class ID. They should be working on this regularly to help keep the theory content fresh in their mind. GCSE pod also has lots of different pods and clips that are valuable to the student. They're quick, they're easy to listen to. Technology students, the website there, lots and lots of resources, again, very student friendly and to specific topics, so they're able to find what they need. AQA Design and Technology, so the exam board's website contains a wealth of information that is worth looking at. And finally, BBC Bite Size contains lots of different video clips and bullet point information for each of the topics that we cover.